Are you a solo guitarist slash singer? You're also a looping artist and you're considering buying one of these, but you don't know how you'd make it work? Stick around because I'm about to show you how I use the Boss RC505 as my loop station when I play live gigs. I'll give you a track by track play of what I do and how I layer my songs. Before we get started, here's a taste of what's to come. Hello, you 367 something loop loving maniacs out there. Bit of a different video from me today. Rather than performing a song and just letting you watch it, I'm actually going to show you how I create the songs that I do and my thought pattern behind the tracks that I make. This is for anyone that is looking to be using the Boss RC505 with a guitar. You may be using a MIDI keyboard in there as well. So here's a rundown of how I actually have everything set up, ready to go. We've got tracks A, B, and C here. On track A, I save that for things like guitar to bass or transposing my voice for when I want to have a bit of fun. For example,
why the rock melon jump in the water?
I don't know why the rock melon jumped in the water.
Because it wanted to become a watermelon.
Ha 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 ha.
Track B is my EQ. It's on EQ right now so that my voice actually comes through a lot stronger. If I take it off, this is how my voice will sound. And also, I love to use the EQ booster for when I'm using the guitar. And that's a very important point to bring up. If I'm using the guitar, I'll show you right now the sound difference. Okay, this is without EQ. And this is with EQ. And then track C is where I love to change things. I love to change between my effects on track C. I usually save that for later when I have layered all of my instruments into the loop station and I'm saving it for my vocal looping or adding in some extra effects with the guitar. So these will be things like my reverb, which will sound a lot like this, and you can change how it sounds by using the knob right here. I'll also use some chorus if I am going to be doing some rapping or doing some, spoken stuff in the actual verses. It's a lot more punchier and it comes through very, very cool. So this is what it sounds like by using the chorus effect with my voice as well. So you can hear that. It's punching through a little bit and it just adds a different kind of tone to your voice. And then last but not least, which is my favorite, and that is the roll effect. Now, I don't actually crank the roll up. I have the roll set to 0 on the dial. And what it actually does is it acts like a delay, which is awesome. I absolutely love this effect. So, for example, hey, 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 hey. Over on the other side, we've got our track effects, and I'm very, very basic with how I use my track effects. I've got track A, and that is the slicer effect. Track B is the filter effect, very, very popular using this machine, and track C is the good old-fashioned beat repeat. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly explain my rundown on how I actually build my loops up. Because I know when I first started using the Boss RC505 with my guitar, I wasn't actually sure on, where should I put my tracks? What's the best kind of system to be able to use? So I'm going to show you what I do, and maybe you can use the same kind of method as well. Sometimes I like to just put the microphone down, jam out, pick the mic up, and start singing, doing my thing. Other times, I like to use a mic stand. That is when, I need to be able to sing and play guitar at the same time. For now, I'm just going to go basic. I'm going to put the microphone down. I'm going to build my tracks and then see how we go. So, for track 1, keep this in mind. I'm not using a foot switch. If I was using a foot switch, you would be able to start your loops using a guitar. because you'll be using your feet to start it off. However, we don't have that option today. So for this situation, we're going to start off using track 1 to build our beat, and then we can use that beat as our own kind of metronome to build the rest up. Okay, so just watch what we do here. I'm going to choose something that I'll like to use. By the way, the application I'm using on my computer is called Mainstage for those people that are Mac users out there. Pretty good. I'm just using the standard sounds that they have on there. I haven't bought any extra kind of things. So I'm just going to build up a very basic dance kind of beat so that you can see what's going on here using a sound called Depth Charge. Here it goes. All right, so now we've got track 1, and that is the basic dance beat. For track 2, I'm going to layer some more kind of percussive sounds. We want to be able to add something extra when, say, the chorus comes in, or if you're going further and deeper into a verse and you want to bring more emotion out of what you're doing, then these layers can actually become really, really handy. So we always start with a shaker, and this is how it sounds. All right, now we've added the shaker. I'm going to start adding some more layers. I'm going to go into my other percussive sounds, and this is the Silver Lake sound, and I love to use something like, add some more percussion. So here's how it goes. We'll add some more layers. Okay, I'm going to start adding a few more layers to this just so that you can see, I guess, how effective this can actually sound when you apply it. Here we go. All right, you can see I'm kind of getting excited already. All right, so let's now start adding some of my favorite things, and that is we're going to add some guitar to what we've got here. Now, the amazing thing about this machine is that the length of the loops that you actually apply to this, they don't have to be the same length as each other, which is something I struggled a lot with some other loop stations that I've used in the past. That's what I love so much about this. The loops that you create can be any length that you want, and it's amazing. So right now, we've got a very simple dance beat. We've got some percussive sounds. I can actually press record on one of these tracks before the track has completely ended, and it will automatically start the next round of loops that it does, which gives me time to prepare my hands with my guitar, ready to go for the next loop session that we're going to be creating. Okay, so if you watch closely, this is how it looks. Okay, now what I'd love to do is actually just layer a few more bits and pieces of guitar just to that very basic rhythm track. You can see here that I've only applied 2 chords. Okay, now's the time where I put the guitar down and make sure that I turn the guitar volume right down so that you don't hear any extra clinks or clanks when you're putting it down. Now that was all on track 3 I've put my guitar sound. Okay, so track 1 is the basic beat, track 2 is percussion, track 3 is my rhythm guitar. Now track 4, that's what I'm going to use for my bass sound. And for this kind of song, I think I'm going to use maybe a trap bass type sound. This is all through main stage. Alright, pretty simple. Let's see how it sounds. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how that sounds. Now, we've got tracks 1, 2, 3, 4 all built up. We saved track 5 for the fun part, okay? This is where we start to add some extra effects with the guitars, and we start to layer some, I guess, lead guitar sections, and also we layer some vocals into this track. This is just how I do it, by the way. If you've got a better way, if you've got a way that you prefer to do it, then you keep doing it the way that you want. But this is how I make it work, and I think it sounds pretty cool. This is where I'm going to add some roll effect to the guitar. I'm also going to add some roll effect to the vocals as well when I start layering them. So let's see how it sounds. Okay, so we've got a pretty solid sound set up now. Here's what I love to do next. Now that we've got the full board at work, I'm going to remove tracks 1, 2, and 4, which will only leave the rhythm guitar in track 3 and the lead guitar in track 5 playing. This will actually cut out all the excess sounds, and it's going to strip the track right back, and it's going to allow me to start building some really nice harmonic vocals to what I've already created. Okay, so here's how it's going to sound. Alright, now I'm going to start adding some roll effect to my voice, and I'm going to be building up on what we've got here. Here's how it's going to sound. we've built up the vocals, we need to bring it all back in again. Okay, so here's what I love to do. And if you love to do the same, please let me know in the comments, because this just like jacks me up. Jacks me up. This gets me excited every time I get to do something like this. I'll either use the beat repeat or I'll use the filter effect. In this case, I'm going to use the filter effect. So I'm going to start adding the filter. It's going to make everything sound wishy-washy. And then just before I bring it back in, I cut the whole track off. I cut the whole track, I turn off the filter, and then I hit that all start button. And it brings everything in. And it's kind of like people that were listening forgot about the beat. They forgot about the percussion. They forgot about the trap bass. And then it all comes back in together. All right, so here's what it sounds like. You left the pain in me. And that's the magic of making a track on one of these bad boys right here. You can mess around with this as much as you want as well. Man, there are so many options, and there's like, you can look up on YouTube. There are tutorials everywhere on how to use this. There's not much about how to use a guitar, a MIDI keyboard, and this at the same time. So I really hope that this has helped give you maybe some, I guess, inspiration or some ideas as to how you can navigate yourself on this amazing machine. And if there's anything that you'd like to see, have you got any questions, just hit me up in the comments. I'll be more than happy to help you out throughout all of that as well. For those of you that are still here, thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. Man, I've got so many looping videos that I put up on YouTube. I haven't done a tutorial before, so this is exciting for me. And obviously there's probably going to be bits and pieces that I'll go back and refine and make better. But yeah, if there's anything that you want to see in particular, please let me know in the comments. And hey, hit that subscribe button if that's something that you're into. Touching buttons. If you like touching buttons, you can press that one. That's one I like people to press. If you want to know how to press my buttons, it's that one. Oh, let's jam.